Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today guys we're doing another review for you. This is my championship review, looking back at the predictions I made all them many months ago and just talking about why I thought that team would be there and what the actual result is. We're going to go from the bottom upwards today, and yeah, I didn't get any of these predictions right. I do apologise to every fan in advance about what I'm about to say, but yes guys, if you do like this video, make sure you give this video a thumb up. Comment down below to say how your team got on this season. Did you deserve to be in that position, or if circumstances were different, would you have been higher or lower? And yes guys, just make sure you keep subscribing, keep telling all your friends, family, colleagues about this channel, and if you're on YouTube yourself, you subscribers. Also, massive shout out to Callum and the Mandem, who I met out in the city last night. Lovely people to talk to, so appreciative of what I do in regards to this channel and in regards to what I do to my TikTok. It was just nice to hear it, really. So yeah, it was just nice to chat to someone about it, and yeah, it was just so lovely to hear all the lovely comments. So yes guys, we're going to go from the bottom of the actual table and the bottom of my apologies for that guys, as you can tell I'm a bit croaky. I'd rather be croaky at this point in time because I'm going to get a lot of stick. Yeah, so the actual table bottom position went to Cardiff, and Cardiff had a bit of a rotten season, didn't they? They got rid of, I think, 2 or 3 managers, and they now got Aaron Ramsey at the helm. Whether or not he'll be in charge next season as they enter League One, I don't know. I can't tell you guys. And I had Oxford sitting at bottom, guys. And the reason I had Oxford was because I was like, well, they've not been at this level for some time, and I don't think they're going to be able to cope with it all. They coped bloody brilliantly, guys. Their home form was impressive. They picked up some impressive points on the road. Got rid of Des Buckingham, got in Gary Rowett, which I think is the right appointment. But I do apologise, Oxford fans. Now, going on to 23rd, in the actual table was Plymouth, and funny enough guys, all them many months ago I did say Plymouth were dicing with danger because they had Wayne Rooney in charge. I think it was just a little bit too late when they got rid of him. The goal difference was a massive issue. They were fighters though till the very end, Plymouth. But I had Derby in at 23rd. Yes guys, I know. I think that was just because again they lost a few players, but they eventually brought in John Eustace for Paul Warne. I think that was the right decision. John Eustace is a Derby man, and he loves that club with so much passion. And wherever he goes, he does succeed. So, again, I'm so sorry, Derby fans. You're probably going to kill me. But yes, that is where I had Derby, and it was actually Plymouth. Now, the actual table for 22nd, oh my god, this is probably the biggest difference, as you're going to see guys. 22nd was Luton. I just thought they were going to do something this year. They didn't lose any players. They had Rob Edwards in charge. They just come down from the Premier League. Normally you get that bounce back ability, but not in this case. Luton have now gone back-to-back relegations, and that is not good. They did lose Rob Edwards in the end, and Matt Bloomfield came in from Wickham. He's now gone down with Luton, and Wickham could still come up. And yeah, I don't know why you'd leave a team going for promotion over a team that's battling relegation. I'm not too sure. Was it because of Luton's pedigree? Are they a bigger team than Wickham? Well, it doesn't look like it so far. But 22nd for me, I had Plymouth, so I wasn't too far off with that, guys, and I've explained my reasons why I thought Plymouth were going to be 22nd now. I tell you what, just looking at some of these predictions up the table is gonna, honestly, yeah, let's just move on. 21st in the actual table was Hull. Again, had a bit of a weird season, did Hull, a bad season in, you know, they got rid of, I can't even remember his name because it was that long ago, the guy from Hamburg, I can't remember, Tim Volter, I think his name was, I can't remember, guys. They got in Ruben Selles from Reading, good manager, passionate about like getting behind the fans and everything, and they just survived. Honestly, it was looking a bit touch and go at one point, guys. But yeah, Hull survived again for another season. I had Blackburn, and the reason why I had Blackburn is because they sold Sammy Szmodics to Ipswich, and I was like, well, that's their top goal scorer gone. That's it. No. They brought in some good players, and made a really good go and actually nearly got into the playoffs. So yeah, I'm so sorry, Blackburn fans. Please forgive me. Now in 20th of the actual table, we had Preston, and again, I thought Preston were going to be. I did think mid-table, but with Preston, there it's either normally the case of mid-table or they're pushing for the playoffs, and that's what I did think. But in truth, they actually just was so poor. It's weird how they got some weird results, but still ended up near the bottom of the table. I think they got rid of Ryan Lowe. I can't remember who they've brought in. Paul Heckenbottom, I do believe it is now. And yeah, they've just survived. And yeah, I put Watford. The reason why I put Watford, Tom Cleverley had just come in, and I really feared for him because Watford are, well, obviously not this season, but they were a sacking team where they just got rid of managers right, left, and centre. So I really did fear for Cleverley. But, Watford had, a good season, but I didn't think so. Coming on to 19th, the actual table was Derby. Like I said, John Eustace has done a fantastic job there. I put Portsmouth. I didn't know how they were going to, obviously, handle the Championship. Obviously, they've been here before and they're quite solid. I just thought it was going to be an okay season for them, and they actually exceeded my expectations, at least. They were fantastic at home. Have some fantastic players in itself, Murphy and Bishop being the standout too. So I'm sorry, Portsmouth fans, for putting you so low. Now, I just want to put out a mention in this, guys, but we'll get to that in a bit. 18th of the actual table was Stoke. They had a weird season, guys, not to say the least. They had some great players and they had Mark Robbins, but it just wasn't clicking for some reason, guys. It just wasn't clicking. It'll be interesting to see what happens next season. But I put in at 18th Cardiff, and I got absolutely ridiculed by a Cardiff fan for saying, you've put us too low in the table and you've put us below Swansea. And I thought I was just being, that was just my opinion at the end of the day, guys. I have to go off face value and what I see in this team. And actually, every week when Cardiff were losing, I just said to myself, it's karma for that guy ridiculing me and, just putting it out there. And I was like, they finished bottom. So I guess the ultimate karma for that is they've gone down. Am I sorry? Yes, in a way, but no, in a way. But 17th of the actual table was Oxford. Again, what Gary Rowett and Des Buckingham both did there was nothing short of fantastic. I had Swansea in at 17th. Yes, I just didn't see Swansea doing anything. I just thought it was going to be a mid finish for them. I did think the best they could do is mid-table, but I just didn't see nothing else other than that. So at 16th of the actual table was Portsmouth. I've already talked about that. 16th, I had Hull. I just thought they were going to do something, but not really, in a sense. This is where it's a bit, a bit shocking, guys. 15th, I had, the actual table was QPR, and I thought that was a shock. Even now, I can't even actually... But I'm bamboozled, guys, because they, at the start of the season, they looked so confident. They looked, they bought so many good players. They had Marty Cifuentes, who is now leaving to go to another Championship club. Who that is, I do not know. So they've lost a great manager. So they could be in trouble next season, guys. But for me, I put Sunderland finishing in 15th. I know, guys. I just didn't think they were going to do anything. I thought Regis Lebris was not going to handle the English football, game as well as I thought. They had a young squad, so I thought, they're just going to crumble. And it's nothing short of excellence of what they've done this season. Now, 14th of the actual table was Watford, who actually exceeded my expectations by a lot. And in at 14th of my predictions was Millwall. I just thought Millwall, they're just going to grind it out, do okay, and that'll be that. And actually, they exceeded my expectations again. 13th of the actual table was Norwich City, my boys. We had a lot of injuries this year. We had suspensions. The manager was no good, as it's been, put out there. He was no good. The fans lost trust. We brought in, as for now, Jack Wilshere in interim charge. So let's see if he'll get the job or not. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't want him because I know that's a controversial opinion, but I don't think he's experienced enough for this level. So, yeah, it's just been a bad season for us. Hopefully we can kick on next season, but we're going to lose a lot of players. So it's all about who we bring in, really. But for my predictions, I had Preston finishing 13th. Like I said, I thought they were just going to bounce around mid-table, maybe make a push for the playoffs, as we've known in recent seasons, but it was actually the opposite. Now, in 12th of the actual table was Sheffield Wednesday. That's only because they started off really well and kicked on, but problems off the field have been probably a reason for their downfall. They haven't wanted to play for the club because they haven't been paid. I truly understand it, really, I do. You know, you're doing a job, but you're not getting paid for it. Why would you even bother? Why would you care? You know, but for me, I had Bristol City in at 12. I thought they were just going to have a mid-table finish, you know, do okay. But once again, they've exceeded expectations. Now, in at 11th of the actual table was Swansea. Done a fantastic job, Alan Sheehan, especially towards the back end of the season, and he's got the job on a permanent basis now. For me, I had Sheffield Wednesday in at 11th. I really thought they were going to, you know, do what the polar opposite of what they did. They survived the previous season just, and I thought they're going to turn this around and go for the playoffs. But as I said, towards the back end, I think they just stopped playing because they haven't been paid. Now, in at 10th, again, this is, oh my God, guys, I look at this and I go, what the hell was I thinking? In at 10th of the actual table, we have Middlesbrough. They've just tailed off towards the back end of the season and results haven't been going their way. And I have a Middlesbrough fan, and he was just like, yeah, it's just not been our season. They did make a lot of good signs in January, but it's just not come through. Guys, I had Stoke finishing at 10th. I really thought they were going to do something this year. They had a load of great players, a great manager at the time, and I thought they were just going to kick on. What do I know, guys? 9th in the actual table was West Brom. Again, they, towards the back end of the season, couldn't really do anything. Yes, they beat Luton on the final day of the season, but by then it was all but over for their playoff hopes. And for me, I had Middlesbrough finishing in 9th, so I didn't get that one too far out, guys. Same as 8th. In the actual table, it was Millwall. They actually exceeded my expectations. Tough place to go to, Millwall. I had West Brom in at 8th, so again, not far away. 7th of the actual table was Blackburn. Again, exceeded expectations for me. And I put Coventry in at 7th, just missing out on the playoffs. Obviously, they had a load of great players. They did have Mark Robbins for a bit, but that went a bit south. And then they brought in Frank Lampard, who done a fantastic job. And it's going to be hard to beat Coventry. I really do believe that. But this is where it gets a bit, oh, Jake, what the hell were you thinking? You'll understand that what I say in a minute, guys. 6th in the actual table was Bristol City. Exceeded expectations for me. Liam Manning, for everything he's gone through this season in terms of his personal life, off the field, just everything. He has done a phenomenal job, and Bristol City are going to kick on, and whether or not they go up or not, they have had a fantastic season. For me, guess who I had in at 6? That's right, Leeds United. People are going to go, what were you thinking? Truth be told, guys, at that point in time, they'd lost pretty much all of their players. Only Willie Gnonto, Dan James and Meslier was the only ones, in my opinion, that was staying. They did bring in one or two players who have now been phenomenal, nothing short. Tanaka is one of them, honestly. I should have known because Farker's got pedigree winning titles. I should have known that, yeah, but I just didn't go, and I don't know why, I don't know why. But in at 5th of the actual table, we had Coventry. I put QPR. Yeah, they were my dark horses, guys. And yeah, I shouldn't have backed them because they had actually a polar opposite season to what I thought. Now, in the actual table, we had Sunderland. It proves to you that you can win stuff and you can possibly get promotion with just kids, Regis Lebris has honestly had a phenomenal first season in English football, and no matter what happens, they should be really proud of themselves, Sunderland. And yeah, they've definitely exceeded expectations of myself, and they've basically said to me, Jake, we have done something. I had Sheffield United in at 4th. I just thought they're going to have a good season, but not push for the top 2. Obviously, Sheffield United finished 3rd in the actual table, just missing out on the top 2. That's because recent times they've just slipped away by the wayside. That match to Burnley, which they lost, it kind of cemented it really, and from there they've not really done anything. They haven't kicked on, and they're actually going into the playoffs not in the best of form, so you never know. Now, my prediction for third was Burnley. I just thought they were going to miss out. Burnley, to me, are just like, they did have a phenomenal season, kept so many clean sheets with Trafford in goal, and they were just steady. They grinded out a lot of 1-0 results, and yeah, good luck in the Premier League next season, Burnley. Now, this top two, honestly, guys, I don't, man, oh man. Let's just get on with it and just save my embarrassment. Second in the actual table was Burnley. Like I said before, had a fantastic season, kept so many clean sheets with Trafford in goal. The defence was steady. Didn't score many goals, but didn't concede any, so, I had Norwich City in at second. Yes, guys, the team that we had, we should have been pushing, but our manager was woeful. The way he was playing was woeful. The suspensions, the injuries, yeah, we just had rotten luck. And hopefully next season with a new manager, we'll kick on. First in the actual table was Leeds, scored a last-minute winner with Solomon to win the title against Plymouth. Again, should have known. Daniel Farke has pedigree for this kind of stuff. He won 2 titles for Norwich, so I should have seen it coming. I just thought they've got a lackluster squad. They don't have anyone here, so they're not going to do anything. And for my predictions, if you've been keeping count, guys, and you'll know the only team I haven't mentioned is Luton Town. Yes, I thought Luton Town were going to win the championship because they didn't lose anyone. They had a great manager, just gone down, bounce back ability. But no, guys, it was the polar opposite of that. So yes, guys, as you can tell, I am no good at predictions. I don't know anything about football, and I will be making a new video in terms of the championship for next season, but I'll do that a week before the championship kicks off. And I'll also be reacting to my Premier League predictions as well, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I haven't bored you throughout this 17 minutes. But yes, guys, until tomorrow, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, stay safe, take care. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.